This week we're going to highlight planting progress here in the U.S. as well as short-term weather trends. Then we're going to turn our attention to South America, where early harvest is taking place in Brazil. We're going to come back and look at an active U.S. export program and wrap things up with a long-term review of December corn futures. Hi, this is Brian Bastine with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the corn market. We've moved into the last part of May here, and corn planting is wrapping up. Let's take a look at nationwide progress. USDA came out here on Monday this week and said as of May 18th, 78% of the corn was planted nationwide. Notice last year only 67%. And it's also above the 5-year average of 73%. Let's briefly look at the historical trends here. As you can see, we're at the second fastest pace here in recent memory. Now, if we look ahead now to the next 2 weeks, on average, approximately 20% of the U.S. corn is planted between May 18th and June 1st. Of course, the rate of that final corn planting progress will be directly dependent on weather. Let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're starting out here. We realize there's been some challenges here across the southern part of the belt here this spring, so we really want to zero in on some of those areas. We're looking now at some rain as we tape here on Tuesday, and then some additional shower activity on Wednesday and Thursday across that light green area. Then we're looking ahead now to the next 7 to 10 days temperature-wise. All across that blue area there, it's going to be much colder than normal. So it looks like it's going to be a very cool ending here to the month of May. How about the final week of May here? As you look from Friday, May 23rd through May 27th, we're looking at the heaviest precip down there in the southern area, 1 to 2 inches. Again, some of those areas have really struggled with planting. We certainly hope a planting window opens in the short term here. As we go further north, lighter totals of 4/10 to 8/10 of an inch of rain. Let's quantify rainfall totals now over the next 2 weeks. Now, the next 2 weeks, you can see many areas here. The light yellow implies normal, a little bit dry actually as we move west into parts of southwest Iowa, across Nebraska, and a little above normal up there in Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin. And unfortunately, some of those southern areas are going to remain wet as we are into the last week of May, first few days of June. Let's shift gears now and focus on Brazil. Let's take a look at where that safrinha or double crop corn is produced in Brazil. Now, double crop second season corn production accounts for roughly 75 to 80% of the corn in Brazil. The key state is Mato Grosso in the north, just under 50% of the corn in that state. Now, corn harvest, very, very early corn harvest here. It'd be about the end of August here, the equivalent in the U.S. You can see the majority of that corn is filling grain. Harvest is going to increase some in June. Again, that would be roughly the equivalent of September here in the U.S., and then really accelerate in July, roughly the equivalent of October. Look at rainfall totals in South America the next 2 weeks, quite dry in Brazil. Estimates of safrinha corn production are increasing following generally good pollination weather in April. Let's shift gears now and briefly look at export trends. Now, we had another good week of export sales here. We've shown that China obviously was still a force 4 or 5 years ago. If we omit China, we can see that this year's pace of unshipped sales is the second highest of the last 20 years. Key message: after another week of impressive sales, unshipped sales at 672 million bushels are 31% above last year at this time. Dwindling Ukraine corn supplies could push U.S. 24-25 exports past 2.65 billion bushels. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in December corn. December corn, as you tape here on Tuesday, is trading near $4.60 a bushel. Notice as we move past Memorial Day, the potential is there for quite a bit of price volatility. That's why we strongly encourage you to continue to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an update. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a safe and enjoyable Memorial Day weekend.